It was a regular Tuesday afternoon, and I was focused on work at my computer when my phone buzzed with a new message. I glanced down and saw it was from my wife. The text was short, painfully short. It said, "I want to end our marriage. Only talk to my lawyer from now on." That was it. No warning, no conversation, no explanation. Just a cold, final statement delivered by text message. We had been married for 15 years. The night before, we'd had dinner together, chatting casually about weekend plans. Everything had seemed normal, routine even. Nothing in her words or actions suggested this was coming. But now here it was, the end, wrapped up in a few simple words on a screen. I stared at the message, stunned, feeling the shock settle deep inside me. My mind raced, but somewhere beneath the sadness, an odd calmness began to grow. I knew what she wanted. No more talking, only communication through lawyers. So I decided to respect that boundary. As strange as it felt. I replied with just one word. Okay. No arguments. No pleas. Just acceptance. The next step was practical. Financially, we had always kept things separate. From the beginning, I had learned from my parents' divorce how important that was. Separate bank accounts, individual credit cards, and financial independence. My wife had some extra credit cards linked to my accounts, though. I logged into my bank app and immediately canceled all of her cards. Spending money I used to send her every month stopped that day. I changed passwords on shared accounts like Netflix and other streaming services I paid for. If she wanted to keep watching, she'd have to pay for it herself now. She drives a car I pay for, but I didn't cancel the insurance immediately. That would cause complications, though I made a mental note to talk to my lawyer about handling it soon. Her gas card stopped working since it was linked to my bank account. Probably took me only 30 minutes to do all of this, but it felt like closing a door I never wanted to close. I wasn't trying to be cruel, just responding logically to the new reality she created. An hour later, I got an email with her lawyer's contact information. I sent it to a trusted divorce lawyer a friend recommended and hired her immediately. My lawyer started working right away to protect my interests. That night, I came home to an empty house. She had taken her things while I was still at work. I slept surprisingly well, though, even with the heaviness in my chest. 3 days passed in silence. Then, on Friday afternoon, my phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, but I already guessed who it was. "Hello, is this you?" A sharp, impatient voice asked. "Yes," I said. "This is her lawyer. My client is having some problems," the lawyer said hurriedly. I stayed calm. I knew what this was about. Her cards weren't working anymore, and the money I used to give her had stopped abruptly. The lawyer complained it wasn't fair. I said, "My wife texted me on Tuesday saying she wanted a divorce and that we only talk through lawyers from now on. I'm following her instructions. The money I gave her stopped. Any further discussions have to be through our lawyers." There was a pause, sounds of papers shuffling. The lawyer said my wife needed emergency money for important things like a place to stay. "Where is she staying now?" I asked. "That's not important," the lawyer replied. "You acted mean by cutting her off without warning," the lawyer accused. Thought about it. My wife ended our marriage by text, imposed the lawyer-only rule, and ended all personal trust. Now money was a legal matter, not a personal favor. I told the lawyer, "Fine. Send any requests to my lawyer. You have their contact info." "Yes," the lawyer replied curtly. "Good. Conversation over," I said and hung up. My heart was pounding, a mixture of fear and pride swelling inside me. She wanted cold, formal, legal. That's what she got. The following week, things escalated quickly. My lawyer called the same day. She said I handled everything correctly given the text message. She advised me to document everything. Monday came, and her lawyer sent a formal request demanding a large sum of money to cover her old lifestyle, a new place to live, and her legal fees. She was also asking for the house, which she had already left. My lawyer responded with a much smaller, reasonable amount based on actual needs and reminded them that my wife left the home I still live in. She also pointed out my wife made the lawyer-only communication rule, which I followed. Then the personal attacks began. That Wednesday night, my wife's best friend called me unexpectedly. I hoped to gain insight, but instead she yelled at me. "What did you do? My friend is on my couch because you cut her off. She couldn't even buy food. You made her homeless," she shouted. I calmly replied. "She asked for a divorce by text and said lawyers only. I'm just respecting that. She barely works and has a tiny part-time income. Money now goes through lawyers, not me. She's scared and upset, sure, but she made these choices." Silence followed. "You should support her. You always took care of her," the friend insisted. "I would have talked things out if she hadn't ended things by text and hired a lawyer first. She made the rules. Now we're following them. She can try to take everything, but it's all legal now. I'm done discussing this." Hung up. Suddenly, I was the bad guy for simply following her instructions. Then came another surprise. I got a bank alert that someone tried to withdraw money from a forgotten joint savings account, about $500 in it. My wife had found an old debit card and tried to empty it. The bank called me immediately. I went straight to the bank, explained the divorce, and froze the account until lawyers decide. It wasn't about the money. It was about her trying sneaky tactics while her lawyer accused me of being unfair. My lawyer said, "This actually helps us. It shows she's not waiting patiently but trying to work around the legal process she insisted on." Court date for emergency support was scheduled. My wife was still staying on her friend's couch. Her lawyer was probably realizing their demands were unrealistic. I felt less shocked now and more determined. This was going to be a difficult fight. 3 weeks later, the emergency support hearing took place. My wife was there, looking stressed and avoiding eye contact. Her lawyer claimed she was poor and I was intentionally cruel. My lawyer calmly showed the judge the text message and bank statements proving I only canceled extra cards and the monthly money I gave her. I was still paying the mortgage, utilities, car payments, and insurance. She also showed evidence that my wife tried to empty the joint account after demanding lawyer-only communication. The judge didn't buy her lawyer's dramatic story. When asked why she didn't speak to me first, my wife mumbled about feeling intimidated, which struck me as odd since I'm not scary at all. The judge ordered temporary support closer to what we proposed. Enough for basics and some legal help, but not to maintain her old lifestyle. The judge basically told my wife her own actions led to her current situation. I felt a relief but knew the battle wasn't over. Soon after, the real games began. Dirty trick number 1. Someone called my work accusing me of misusing company resources for my legal issues and acting unstable. Thankfully, my boss knows me well. HR checked my computer and found nothing. After a calm discussion, they dismissed the complaint. Clearly, someone was trying to sabotage my job. My lawyer noted this but said it's hard to prove who made the anonymous call. Dirty trick number 2. My wife's mother called me crying, begging me to give her more money, saying the judge was unfair. I responded firmly. My wife chose this path, and money matters go through lawyers now. She called me heartless and hung up. They really thought I'd keep paying forever. Their tactics showed me I had to be even more careful legally to protect myself and stop the manipulation. Regarding the car, my lawyer sent a letter to her lawyer explaining that now that support is set, my wife must handle the car payments. She can take over payments if she qualifies or return the car. I'd stop paying next month. Insurance coverage would end then too. She had 30 days to resolve it legally. About the house, I filed for formal permission to stay there since she left, and the judge hadn't granted her any rights. I started the valuation process to prepare for selling or a buyout. A buyout seemed unlikely given her finances. I pushed for full financial disclosure because I suspected she might be hiding assets. If she does, the court will find out, and it will work against her. I documented every manipulative call, the anonymous complaint, with dates and details. My lawyer said this pattern would impact the final settlement and legal fees. It wasn't about revenge. It was about managing the situation within the legal framework she created, especially as they resorted to dirty tactics. Yesterday, my wife texted me directly, breaking her own lawyer's only rule. She said, "You can't take the car. How will I get anywhere? Stop this." I took a screenshot, sent it to my lawyer, and replied, "Per your instructions from the start, all communication must go through lawyers. Please contact your attorney." No response. 6 months later, about 7 months since that first text, our divorce is finally over. Feels like a lifetime ago. The last 6 months were like a legal war. Her lawyer delayed everything. My wife played the victim and rejected fair offers. The car was a huge fight. She couldn't qualify to take payments, so I sold it and kept the money for legal fees. The house was sold after months of disputes. I got fair market value. She got enough to start over but lost most of what she hoped for. In the end, the judge ruled the divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences and split assets according to state laws, mostly favoring me because she left the marriage, refused communication, and tried to hide assets. The financial battles were exhausting, but I survived. I'm now rebuilding my life, cautious but hopeful. That cold Tuesday text changed everything, but it also woke me up. Sometimes, in silence and finality, you find your own strength.